camera. Okay. I'm sick. I'm gonna sit for this. I used to have this problem with paintings where I would get stuck. And I would get really frustrated by like the middle phase, the ugly phase of the painting. But over the years, as I do this more and more, I have found that there's a way out of every sort of dead end in painting, because you can always paint over it. You can erase, you can add, you can subtract, you can change. And so I've gotten a lot more comfortable just accepting that there is a way out of the holes that I dig myself into. I just need to be patient with the process of finding out how. And so that only comes with practicing, experimenting, approaching problems from different angles. And that takes many forms. So if I'm trying to think about how to problem solve for a painting, sometimes I'll switch to something else and try some techniques and some approaches. So here you can see, now that I've finished this big one, I'm going to spend a lot of time working on these rough watercolors. I've done some initial moves here, and now I'm going to use some of this chalk pastel and draw a bunch of sword fights on these papers. I've been really interested in like gestures, not exact likenesses, but just the body moving and gesturing and the language attached to that. And I'm most interested in conflict at the moment. I'm thinking a lot about how we move through conflict, how we engage with conflict in others, how we fight, how we love, how we come together or not. And so I'm wanting a space for some friction and conflict in the sort of dance of communication that sometimes is physical, sometimes is verbal. That sort of back and forth, riposte, parry, slash, that sort of dance. And it's nice to have a little outlet, little world here to play in, because sometimes in the real world, you don't feel like you have as much control. I'm a big believer in doing what you can with what you have, because my zone of concern is very wide, but my zone of influence is very small. So I try to stay here. Now, that said, we have to do what we can with what we have. So as an artist, that's a question I ask myself all the time. What can I do with what I have? What are my tools? What do I stand for? Who do I want to stand up for? How do I want people to be thinking about the kinds of conversations that I'm pushing for, trying to facilitate with my art? Is my art about asking questions or finding answers? Right? What is it asking of the viewers? Is it asking us to reconsider the past? Is it asking us to imagine a different kind of future? Is it asking us to be more indignant about the things that we don't have in the present? So these are things that every artist needs to ask themselves. So the end of one project is always the start of another. So as I finish out this large piece, I'm moving now into another area where I can explore some new ideas and then maybe apply to the works that are still evolving. It's nice to be able to move around, not get too set on one idea or way of working. I think if you find yourself in the position where you're cranking out things according to a formula, you don't have that joy anymore in making, and it becomes something you have to do instead of something you want to do, that's a big problem, because you should always be going where the growth is. And if you're doing something that you can guarantee you'll do every time the same way, then you don't grow anymore. That's where you stagnate. So can't help but merge with the process and evolve and grow as we go. Of course, for that to happen, you have to keep going. So I wanted to just talk a little bit about the follow-through and encourage you to, when you start something, stick with it, because you'd be surprised to see what you can actually accomplish day after day. Okay. That said, I'm going to get back to work. Okay, yeah, fine. Okay, now we gotta put the icing in the oven, completely ruining the whole thing. Here we go. Long confidence strokes. Throw the boat. Make sure the center is the most solid. Throw in a little more. Gotta get some hierarchy going. It should feel a little scary. Am I reaching? It's so far away? These are really physical, folks. Ugh. Yep. Trick here is going to be not to overwork it. One more. There we go. That's it. Oh, we're working it now. Maybe we can find our way out. Yeah, we're going to let that stay there. Good. That feels loaded. Wow, we really destroyed the floor, haven't we? Okay, status update. I got stuck. So it's looked like this for a few days now. I decided to change it in a big way when I was almost done, and now I have to just figure it out. So I'm gonna get in there today and we're gonna try to land this plane.